Thank you for joining us. I'm John Diaz. Shelby Kluver is on assignment. We continue our coverage of the apartment building that partially collapsed in downtown Davenport. Here's what we know right now, 8 days after the collapse. Crews have found and identified the remains of all three missing residents, Brandon Colvin, Ryan Hitchcock, and Daniel Prian. Mayor Mike Matson says the city is looking into the 911 call made the day before the collapse. And today the mayor met with Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds to give her an update on search and recovery efforts. Now that crews have found all three victims, officials say they are moving toward the next steps of the investigation. Davenport Police Chief Bladel says they have been in contact with family members of all three families, and they have no other information that anyone else could be missing.
We're working with multiple structural experts from all around the country to understand how best to proceed and do this in a dignified manner.
City officials say autopsies will be performed on all three victims. Legal fights are now ramping up for those affected by the collapse. The families of Ryan Hitchcock and Daniel Prian have hired lawyers. The lead attorney tells us they intend to file lawsuits in the coming days. The team is based out of Chicago. They released a statement to News 8 saying, quote, "As we conduct our independent investigation, we would like to start by thanking the people of Davenport for standing united to ensure that this building was not demolished immediately." They continue saying these families have been through an absolute harrowing experience and deserve answers. Meanwhile, a resident of the collapsed building has now filed a lawsuit. The resident is suing the city of Davenport and the building's current owner. The suit alleges both the city and the owner knew about the unsafe conditions of the building and failed to warn residents. The resident retained the same law firm that represented residents of the Surfside condominium collapse that happened 2 years ago in Florida. This lawsuit says more lawsuits are likely. And here are three things we are looking into while we continue to investigate the Davenport building collapse. The city has not yet scheduled a demolition date for the building, saying they are working with outside teams to determine that. City officials say they don't yet know who will be leading the investigation into why the building collapsed. And when asked this morning, Mayor Mike Matson said he doesn't know who is paying for all the response from different agencies, but says the bill is quickly adding up.